Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Group podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington, and we are back with another review. Today, we are going to take a look at Citadel Diana. This is a spin-off of the Citadel franchise on
Yes.
Amazon Prime. And right now,
Mhm.
IMDb gave it a 6.0.
it did.
Hmm.
The American sensibilities was not there, all right? Let's put it like that.
Yeah. But you know what? We were just talking offline, and we were talking about like how this film
Mhm.
looks. Like just visually, it's a great looking film. I mean, just like it.
Yeah. Well, because
mm,
you can't beat being in some beautiful locations. Like
You
you
can't.
can't. You can't
You
beat that.
can't. No.
You can do stuff like in like America or like just other places that everyone films it, and it looks okay, it looks interesting, whatever, because there's cinematography, whatever. But like any yokel with an iPhone could make something beautiful sitting out there in the Alps, or you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
like, or just being out in Italy somewhere, in Sicily somewhere. You can't help it.
In
It's gonna look
Torino,
crazy.
in Torino
Yeah,
on the
yeah, Torino.
Mediterranean. Come on, right?
Yeah, yeah, you can't help but the sunset's gonna be looking crazy, like the buildings gonna be everything's gonna look nice. You can't help that.
Yeah.
So I liked visually. I know this is the adding to like what we liked about the show, or whatever.
Mhm.
Visually, I thought the show was stunning,
Yeah, it was stunning.
and I I liked the different pace because it's not Americanized where there's an action car chase for no reason and people who are jumping over a car and shooting for no reason. Like the action is kind of focused. It's focused to the one area it's supposed to be in rather than just blowing up stuff all over the place just cuz
Yeah,
we got a budget to blow things up. So
exactly.
I like the style of it.
Yeah, it looked pretty good, man. Like I said, when I saw it and as I was watching it, I was like, wow, this looks like it belongs on Apple TV because it looks so great. Visually, it was just great. Just like
Mhm.
even the temperature, the brightness of like everything, everything just
It's
worked out really
clean.
well, right? It
I
was
know it's
super
supposed to be in the
clean.
future. I know it's supposed to be in the future, but like it looked futuristic even though you're in places that are there for like 1,000 years, which is crazy to me.
Well, their future was only 2030. That's it.
Yeah, yeah, it's like 5 years from now, whatever.
Exactly,
Like
so this is kind of cool because like when we saw the Citadel, you know, Amazon basically said when after they it aired, they were like, "Hey, another one's coming out in January," and so now it's
Mhm,
October. And here's the other thing:
mhm.
Did you know this was out,
I did not know this was out.
dude?
Amazon hates their fan base.
Yo,
They're like, "Screw you guys."
I was like, I was on Amazon because I go on Amazon at least once a week, but
Mhm,
probably only once a week to see what's
mhm,
available. And I saw this, right?
mhm.
And I was like,
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
Citadel, what is this here? And I was like, oh, okay. And then, so yeah, I didn't see any trailers, nothing showed up in my feeds, nothing like that. I didn't see anything on threads, nothing like that, right? So this is
Amazon's
not,
like, "Screw you guys. You
they,
pay for this? Screw you.
like,
We're just gonna
how,
throw things out, even though you wanna see it. You're not gonna know
right.
about it."
It was just like the same thing I was telling you about when it came to the Rings of Power. It was just like when I went to the Amazon app, that should have been the
Mhm.
first thing they showed you, and they were feeding this to us episodically, weekly. It was just like
They're
on
not
Thursday,
trying.
on Wednesday, you should have been like, this is coming out at this time on Thursday. They did nothing
Yes.
like that. They did nothing like that for the Citadel, Diana, and it
Mhm,
was 6 episodes. And yo, I mean, I kind of enjoyed it. I mean, I was
mhm,
just reading. I was doing a search, and I, you know, I and one other thing, just really quickly, I really don't do
mhm.
Google searches anymore. I do Chat GPT searches, right? So I don't even use Google to do searches anymore, really, right? So I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
did like
yeah.
I just ran a search inside of chat, and I was like, "So what is this?
Mhm,
Is this a sequel? What is it?" And they were like, "No, this is just a spinoff, right?" And I was just like,
mhm,
"A spinoff?" I was like, because if you recall when we reviewed the Citadel, right? We
mhm.
said that this could be a really cool franchise. We both said that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
think so still. I still
yeah,
think so
I
after
think
this.
so still as well. So, and here's a spin-off, right? And I'm just like,
Mhm.
you know what? Stop the presses. Forget sequels. Forget about sequels, right? You do
Yeah.
spin-offs because Manticore and the Citadel, they're all over the world, right?
Yeah. Well, but this is the cool thing about this
Hmm.
show is that so the first Citadel is about the good guys,
Hmm.
the good guys, the Citadel itself, and this is like, well, let's talk about the bad guys. What are those guys up to? Like, I
Right.
like that.
Hmm.
The time of the family's interesting. They're basically warlords, but like I mean, it's the family's interesting. Like the father's smart. I like this is when I'm watching the show and the person's smart. I'm like, okay, I can get into this.
Yeah.
When you watch a show and the person's stupid and they're in charge of stuff, or the hero's an idiot, like I can't enjoy it. It bothers me. And like the father's smart, the son's smart, Diana's fairly capable. So like there's interesting things from that aspect. Like that's the one thing I need out of a TV show. You have to be competent. I need that. I have to
Right.
have you being competent.
Right.
If you're not competent, I can't enjoy this show. I can't. It just takes me out of it. It's unwatchable. And I liked there wasn't really twists and turns. It's more filling in the gaps about what happened to the Citadel TV show and what's going on with this spinoff here in Italy, and these other families with their beefing with each other. It was cool, man. I dug it. I liked the whole show.
It
I
was
liked it.
it was pretty cool. And the other thing is, when you have shows like this, I mean, I like to see, some eye candy in a show like this, right? I
Mhm.
mean, so it was good that, the lead actress, I think her name is Matilda
She's
the
cute, man. I
Angeles,
think
right? She's cute, right?
she's
So I'm
cute.
just like, and the other thing I like is, yes, give me some eye candy to look at, but don't like over
Mhm,
sexualize it either, right? It's just like
mhm.
this is a spy flick, right? I mean, even when you're watching like 007 and
Mhm.
James Bond is getting down, they don't go crazy with the over
Yeah, it's just like,
sexualization of it.
"Okay, guys, here you go. Here's enough."
Right,
Right. Get back
exactly.
to the
I love
spy
that
thing. Let's
about
go.
stuff like this. Like you don't have to do that to make it great, right? You don't have to
Mhm,
do that to pull in, a male, audience. I love that, right? But you
mhm.
know, this joint here, only 6 episodes. I think I'm liking the 6 episodes. I think I like the short seasons
It's
like
just
that.
enough. You don't need more than that.
If
It's
the
just
English are
enough.
doing it, why can't we? Right?
Yeah, no, it's 6 because you gotta focus the story.
Yeah.
You don't get to have a story about I was driving somewhere and we had a flat tire, we're sitting on the side of the road reminiscing. Like, I don't need that episode. Get
Yeah.
that episode out of it. Just focus right to the story, get to the core of the matter. A lot of stuff happened in the show. It moved fairly brisk pace. Things happened. A lot of stuff changed. I'm like, this is great. Six
Yeah.
episodes, and they weren't that long either. It moved. You can watch this in the afternoon easily and knock it out. Like it's not that long. Just a couple hours. Boom, done.
Listen, I woke up Sunday yesterday, worked out,
Mhm.
had brunch. By the time it was 12, I started watching this. By the time it was 6, I was done with it because
You're done, yeah.
the fourth episode was only 35 minutes long. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so there was one part, there were two things that I really didn't like
Mhm.
in this series, right? And
Mhm.
I wasn't sure if it was the fact that they had to bring in like her personal battles, into the
Mhm.
whole storyline, or was it her super annoying sister, right?
Sister drove me crazy, man.
Right.
I was like, oh my god, get rid of this
And
chick.
exactly. And the other thing is this, in the original Citadel, right? I mean,
Mhm.
if you're gonna do this, no family. You have a new name, your family don't even know you, you're dead to them, whatever, right? And so
Yeah, that's
she's
the
walking
only
around.
way.
Right, so she's walking around like, hey, she knows agents' names. She's like living places. She had a really dope apartment too, didn't she?
Yeah, dope shark.
That
Yeah.
apartment, like everyone had a
Well,
dope
like
apartment in this joint.
the type of people that would be called in to do this kind of spy work would
Mhm.
have to be like James Bond or Orphan, where he
Right,
lost his parents when he was young,
exactly. Yeah.
traumatic experience.
Mhm.
And they're like, "Yo, we can fix you. make you better. Work for the government. We got you. Like you it requires somebody like that to go put your neck on the line for this, because you can't have the, oh man, I gotta leave this mission because my sister's having a baby. I gotta go to that. Like, yo, you can't do that. That's
Mhm.
crazy talk. Like you have to have somebody that's emotional scarred and separated from the world because they gotta go do some killing, and they can't be feeling sad about it when they see the baby next week. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just silly. All that is ridiculous. And
Yeah,
so like her premise with her family, like her family dying, that's great. That started off great. And then the sister storyline, just it was like, what was the
erected.
CW? What are we doing
Yeah,
here?
exactly, erected. That was
You
so
did
dumb,
not need
man.
the sister. They
None
take
at
the
all.
sister out. Story goes so much better.
None at all. And I think how they the whole story arc was like an entire
Mm-hmm.
drip for the entire 6 episodes. Because I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she's a double agent. Then I was like, 6 minutes later, I'm like, well, is she? And then it's like, oh yeah, she's a double agent. She is. And then it's
Yeah,
like,
like, ugh.
but wait a minute, is she? I love that sort of swaying
Mhm,
back and forth. And I like how they were
mhm,
going, like 9 years earlier, 9 years later. I sort of like that. And the reason why I love
mhm.
the whole, spin-off thing is because maybe you can do a Citadel Turkey, a
Yeah,
Citadel
you could put
Iran,
this anywhere.
a Citadel
Yeah,
Russia. You know what I'm saying? You see,
yeah.
and the other thing is this. In this one, in Diana, right?
Mhm.
Was it? Did you see or did you feel that the technology had advanced? It was better, compared to the Citadel, the original.
Well, no, because Citadel, the original, had some cool tech in there as well, but it was just different.
Right.
But I liked is a little ambiguous because it's a little bit in the future, but not too far. So it's
Hmm.
like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like the biggest tech thing on the show was that foldable camera phone that thing she had,
Hmm.
and I mean, we're not that far away from that. Like it was kind of
Well,
thin, but we're not that far away
mhm,
from that.
right.
Being realistic.
I think that I thought that the technology, how they use the technology they had, because we really didn't see the Manicore technology, and we were able to
Mhm.
see that and everything else. I think
Most of the stuff we could do right now, realistically.
right, with the exception of that nanotech gun. Remember that joint? It
Oh
like
yeah,
it
yeah,
was a
that was
tube.
the
They were
nanotech
like,
gun was like, come on, like
and I was like, what?
yeah, yeah,
But
that kind of
they were
is annoying, but
scanned. Remember, old girls scanned them and they didn't see that, And
mm,
so they were just
yeah,
like,
yeah.
wow. And I was just like, see, that's what I'm saying. Every
Mm,
every spin-off of Citadel, right? You can just
mm,
introduce more tech, introduce better tech. You can now, okay, so now we know what the Citadel side was. Now we see what the Manicore
mm,
side was. And also in the Citadel side, when they showed us that one, they did say earlier they destroyed Manicore, right? And now
mm.
you have this one here, Manicore destroyed Citadel,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm,
So I like the storytelling from the different perspectives of
mhm,
the companies, the company men, whatever. And I like the fact that it was a little bit in the future, so that you could get a sense to mess around with some stuff that you can't normally do
yeah,
in current day and age, because they didn't really get into politics about what's going on in any of these countries, whatever. It's more so about this isolated thing with this company. This is what they're dealing with, or this is what they're doing, and there's a political intrigue at the top, which
mhm.
is like I feel like this is kind of probably made during COVID because there wasn't a lot of people on screen. Like everybody's kind of spaced out. It seems like
Mm.
it is around that time
Really?
frame.
COVID. Now,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what? That could be kind of interesting
Think
because,
about it.
yeah, because, the Citadel, the first one, they kind of
It
made
came
it
out
during the
during
COVID,
yeah
right? The
during
lockdown,
COVID.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
wow. Okay. So, this is very interesting. There wasn't that many people out. There were times when they had, you know, decent number of cars out, like when she was, darting in and
Mhm,
out of traffic and stuff like that. But
mhm.
I do, I don't know, man. It was just something about this film, this series it was just intriguing enough for it to like grab me and keep my attention, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think it goes back to the fact that we're deprived from, sci-fi, or I would say spy stuff.
Hmm.
We don't There's not a lot of spy stuff out right now, like, as far as the James Bond level things. Like that whole genre is kind of dead in the water right now. And
Wow, that's
everything's
true.
superheroes and whatever. So I love spy thrillers, movies, everything. Like I love that stuff.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, this is my bread and butter right here. I'm good. And it's interesting. Like the idea that we have, the families that they're doing crime got together and they're beefing with each other, and they got a little storyline running. I liked it, man. I like the fact that they're not even pretending to be good guys here. These
No.
guys are everybody here is bad
Yeah,
across the board,
and
except maybe Matilda, maybe, but she's questionable in her own
and
right.
maybe Edo too. Edo, he was just like
He's trying.
the thing about Edo
He's
is this,
doing
right?
bad stuff too, though.
Yeah, the thing about but Edo, he had the like technology in his thumb. He was like click click click. Yo,
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
sick, wasn't it? Was that when I saw that?
Yeah, I wasn't mad at that.
I thought about Data. Remember, he had a chip in his like
Yeah, yeah,
thumbnail. He
flip
just
this stuff
opened it up,
open.
right? Exactly. And I was just like, see,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I'm talking about. That's sick. You know what? You are
Mhm.
so on point. Like the whole spy thriller space, we don't have that. The only
It's
thing
not
we've
there.
been watching is the Citadel and Extraction, which Extraction is really dope, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's not
yeah.
even spy thriller either, but it's still sort of like that, right?
Actiony,
Yeah.
whatever. Like, but that whole space that's another space that's limited too.
Mhm.
That the action man, everything's action woman, or we're gonna do this stupid show with the idiots there. Like, it's not interesting, whatever. Like, what I'm saying? Like it was the movie with the Thor. What's the show?
Oh, the one we just
With
saw, Twilight
Hemsworth.
of the Gods?
No, with Hemsworth.
Extraction.
Extraction.
Yeah, Extraction.
Extraction. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Like that type of movie, that's
Yeah,
few and far between. They don't make a lot of those anymore.
right.
Really, the action guy doing action things.
Hmm.
We gotta wait for a Tom Cruise movie before we can get it. Like that's how far out we are.
Exactly.
We gotta
Like
wait every 4 years or
every
something like
four to
that. Like
five years to see Tom Cruise
I
hair blow around.
appreciate.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's got to run in the street. Like I appreciate this kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
listen. I like the action stuff we're getting with women. I love that. I also, dude, there's dudes too, right? Let's do that too. We don't
Hmm.
have to only have the one thing. And one thing, aspect I liked about this was it was about her, but it wasn't only about her. Like the father and the son got as much screen time as she did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that
Hmm.
storyline it's a huge part of what happened to her. She wasn't the boss babe, the running everything by herself. She knows everything, doing everything. She's like she needed help, and there's things bigger than her, which is I respect that because that's life. There's things bigger than us in life.
But
I hate watching these TV shows and it's so exaggerated about everything's going on. Like I can't stand it.
Edo, he was like a nepo baby. He was just like
Oh,
everything
yeah, for
came to
sure.
him. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
he
right?
handed to. If he
But
had to go build that in his own, he would not. He would.
Edo apartment was just fly, dude. It was just
I was
like,
fine.
come on. I was just like, what? It's just like, wow. Everyone in this
Mm,
joint had a dope apartment.
mhm.
Diana had a dope
Yeah.
apartment. You know,
Mhm.
Ectoro or Ectori. Yeah, I mean, like, it and the
The
other thing
house,
is,
the estate over
yeah,
there
the
with
estate was dope.
the
And the other thing
dogs.
is
That
this:
was fire. That thing was fire.
the
That
Doberman pinchers. I didn't.
yes.
He or were those greyhounds? Those were greyhounds. They were
I think it's
greyhounds.
Greyhound.
Yeah,
That
greyhounds.
that
Hmm.
art piece that he had with
Yeah,
the
with the
I every
greyhounds.
time
Yeah,
they show that scene, they walk past
that
it. I'm
was
like, yo,
dope.
that is
That was
fire.
dope. And I
That's
think that
fire.
was filmed on location in someone's like mansion
Yeah,
like that.
they're in somebody's
Estate.
villa, man.
That's not a mansion.
Somebody's
That's an
estate.
estate. For
That's
real.
a state. You gotta drive up a kilometer just to
Mhm.
get up to their house, like,
We're gonna
that's what
zip
it
this
is.
up, but I think that it would not surprise me
Mhm.
if they followed up, with Diana. And
I
I don't
I
think
hope
they
it's
need
doing
to.
well.
I don't think they
No,
need to.
no, I just want more Citadel. Like, let's
Yeah,
go. Like, let's
exactly. See,
talk
I'm
about the
okay with
storyline. Let's
spin-offs,
go.
right? So
Yeah.
if they did like followed up with this one here, right, with another one,
Mhm,
then it would seem like, Diana and Edo just basically they
mhm.
have to kill off, the heads of these
They
organizations,
gotta
the
fight.
Italy, yeah, they
It
got to fight. It's got to be a war, for them
Yeah, it's
to,
gonna be a war, and
yeah,
that's also
mhm,
interesting too. That's a different storyline that's interesting
right.
to me in the
And
Citadel universe of the
right.
space.
And and again, let's not forget,
Mhm,
Diana is a double agent. So let's
mhm.
not forget that. She's
Yeah,
a
old boy
Citadel
showed up
agent.
at the end, like, a
Right.
spoiler alert, really, he showed up at the end. I'm like,
Exactly.
"Alright, let's
So
go. Citadel's back."
that makes me think that there will be a season 2, but I don't know. We'll see, right?
I thought they were filming it. Where did they get it okay to film it? Like, what's going on here?
I mean, I was doing some research and I didn't see anything about it. Did you?
It's too soon? No, I was looking, I thought, we're probably gonna get a green light for it, like, Amazon needs content, like,
Well, they're
I'm
going to
gonna
get
be
a green
real
light
here.
for something that's only getting a 6.0. And remember, IMDb is owned by Amazon. So,
Yeah, but, like, I mean, Lord of the Rings didn't do that well either, and he's got a season 2.
oh,
So, let's be
I
real
think with
here.
Lord of the Rings, they're in too deep. They have to do something. They have to try to get. I
Yeah, but,
think
like,
Amazon would continue throwing money at it to try to make their money back.
to fix it? Well, that's the
Yep.
thing, like, well, how much is the budget for Citadel? What do you think the budget was? It couldn't have been that insane because A, you filmed in Europe, and
Yeah.
B, there wasn't too much outrageous stuff that happened on the show. Like, you had the one car flip over in an alley, and you shot up a couple cars in the building. Like, it wasn't too expensive, and then these a lot of unknown actors, actresses that you're not super famous. Like, you don't have big name people in there. You got to pay a budget to. I think it's cheap enough that you could probably do another season and get by without going over budget and bankrupting the Amazon studios. I think so.
Uh,
In my opinion, please.
okay. So, just something I'm looking at this here. It says, I was looking at the, just the budget. When I put in like Citadel Diana or Diana budget, it said Citadel TV series 300 million. I don't know what that means, right? I don't know if it's just for like,
That's what they
you
spent
know,
on it to not tell anybody about it, or that's what they spent to make it. Like, what is it?
I think the I think
Amazon's
the
throwing money everywhere.
I think the Citadel franchise got 300
Mhm.
million. That's what I think.
Okay, for both of the two different shows.
I mean, but you know what? In the Citadel, the original one, they did have some really dope action scenes, like the
Yeah,
snow scene.
big
They spent
they
money
had
on
big
that
boy
joint.
action on the
Yeah,
first one for
mhm.
sure. There's some big
They
boy
spent
action.
money on that joint. But on Deadline, they said this joint did really well. It like broke records on Amazon.
Make another one, man. Let's go. What are we waiting on?
So we are talking about the Citadel Diana. This is an Amazon original series. It is
Mhm,
a spin-off of the original Amazon
mhm.
series Citadel. So, Keo, what are you rating this?
I'm gonna give it an 8. I liked it, man. I like
Mhm.
this first. Okay, visually, I liked it. I thought I liked it. Look beautiful. It was clean. Special effects was decent. Action was okay. It wasn't too over the top. It was short. You could just get through it real quick. I liked it, man. I thought the acting was okay. Like, it was fine. I liked
Yep.
it. I
Mhm.
want it made me more interested in the Citadel universe. So
Yes.
to me that's a W. I
Yes.
want to see more out of this universe.
Yes. That is such a good point, Chess. I am now interested, right? I'm going to give it a
Mhm,
9 because it was just it was really compelling. It was really interesting. I like
mhm.
the drippiness of the storyline. It was just dripping here,
Mhm.
drippiness pause. I'm just like it was here. Here, I was just like, wow, this is okay. And the fact that yeah, she was a double agent, but she
Mhm,
wasn't, but she was, but she wasn't. I mean, for them to not say that, but to just imply it just based on how they were dripping the
mhm,
storyline just around or sprinkling, I should
mhm.
say, it was,
Yeah.
that was pretty compelling as well, and it was just like, and here's the other thing, just to wrap it up. TV series, the new season of a TV series, they are taking a lot longer to be released. You're not getting a new series or a second season or a third season of a series in a year. You're getting it in 2 or 3 years. And
Mm.
the other thing is TV series are now shorter now. They're not 14 and 16 episodes. They're not even 10 episodes, a lot of
20,
them.
20
You don't,
episodes. Let me
yes,
see.
exactly. You're getting 6. In England, you may get 4 or 6, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
3. Some of them.
exactly, right? So I think this is the new normal now, longer
Mhm,
time between releases of seasons and shorter, seasons, maybe 6 or 8. We got 8
mhm.
episodes of Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that's the thing, right? I looked at some of the reviews for the Citadel Diana show, and
Mhm.
most people were complaining about her haircut versus the actual show itself. So to me, I'm like, if that's the case, then it was good and everything's fine.
The
You change your
haircut?
hairstyle, man. Like,
I thought the haircut was dope. I thought her, you know what, as a matter of fact, let me just say this. I thought the wardrobe, Diana's wardrobe, I thought that was so sick.
yeah.
It was not only French, but it was also
Mhm,
Italian, just the whole
mhm,
look. Yo, if you really think about it, other than
mhm,
Sarah, Diana's sister,
mhm.
everyone in this joint dress fly, right?
Dude, the bosses, they were just pretty. That was like, "Oh, I need a suit
Come
like
on,
that, yo."
Edo with the like Edo had on, dude, Edo had on a turtleneck in a tweed
Mhm.
blazer. And when
Yeah.
I saw that, I was like, can you turn around so I can see if you have leather elbow patches, right? And I was just like, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like you said, the way the film looked, the way the series looked, right? This is Italy, this is
Visually,
France. It's just like the fashion is
mhm.
totally different. The makeup is totally different. The hair is
I
totally
liked
different.
it. The fashion style, I liked it, man.
Mhm.
Right, you're right. It added to the storyline is the
Right.
fashion,
Hmm.
in addition to the locations and how it was shot and just, the style of filming instead of the Americanized version of explosions everywhere and the shootouts for no reason. Like just shooting up a car for no reason. Like that, it was different.
Yeah.
I liked it, man. I didn't have a problem with it. I definitely will watch it again.
Definitely, man. I think Amazon has a winner here. Like, again, you don't necessarily
Mhm,
need sequels, but
mhm.
spin-offs from the original is kind of dope. And then let's say if they gave us like 5 spin-offs or even 3 spin-offs and then gave us a second season of Citadel four
I'll
or
be
5
fine.
years later. That'd be really dope because now you're putting
Yeah.
all the spin-offs together plus the Citadel to
Mhm.
give us season 2. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, I think that would be
mhm,
fine. I think that the idea that you can expand the Citadel this way, I think is probably genius. The
mhm.
one thing I have a problem with Amazon is you need to let people know about your shows, all right?
That's
You
not going to
gotta
happen. That's not going to happen.
work something out better. You gotta figure that out. Like
That's not going to
when
happen.
Netflix is showing me there's a new thing out, I see it. I see it on net. I turn on Netflix. I see a new show. It
Mhm.
let me know up front. This is what's going on here. You gotta watch this. Like that. You gotta do something, man. It's
Apple, you're
ridiculous.
getting alerts on your phone, your watch, the
Everybody's like, "How
lappy,
can we
the
let you know about
iPad.
this thing?"
Come
Amazon is,
on.
how can we not let you know about this thing? Like,
Because that's exactly what they're doing.
I don't get it, man. We casually, we
Yeah.
should be walking down the street and like, oh shit, this Amazon show. Like that's what we should be
Billboards,
getting.
the whole nine. Come on. I don't know,
Billboard,
man.
something. I should be at a restaurant like, ooh, Amazon's got a new thing.
Right,
Like they do
exactly.
something. See, commercials during football, something. Come on,
Something.
man, get your act together.
And stop promoting other like, streaming services and not yourself, come
I'm
on.
like, yo.
So we are talking about Citadel Diana. This is an Amazon Studio original series. You can go check it out on Amazon Prime. Keo gave it a 8. I gave it a 9. Go check it out. It's a really good spy thriller series. Well, there you have it. Thanks for checking out another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.